This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everybody. It's another Thursday, a great Thursday. God bless the USA and God bless you. We're going out of the McAllen Creative Incubator, everybody. 97.7 KCYP, The City, out of McAllen, Texas. We're going out on 97.7's Facebook channel, YouTube channel. We're going off on the Christopher Ott and the Bitcoin Otter Facebook profiles. Also, we have a YouTube profile on that platform. Man, it's great to be here. I really love being in the studio. I love doing what we do here on this show. So as a little technical thing here, I'm going to sign on to the various pages that I have here. Turn down the volume on the phone, get on the iPad, and we will be ready to rock and roll. We got a lot to talk about. I don't know if you got a chance to check out Donald Trump's State of the Union address or not, but it was. I mean, a lot of it was predictive. I mean, we could predict what was going on, and some of it, was funny. He called out Pocahontas. That was good. He caught a lot of flack in the mainstream fake news. You knew that was going to happen. Alex, good to see you, Alex. So starting out with our economic barometer, at least the one that the Otter made up, we're going to go with the Bitcoin price. 90,000, pretty much right around there when I was doing the show notes about an hour and a half ago. Silver, $32.87. Gold, $2,932. Ladies and gents, they are going to revalue gold. I don't know yet exactly how that's going to roll out. And, it could roll out in a few different ways. And I was listening to a couple of podcasts. And let me just sidebar for a second. You have heard me probably on this show call people clinically, not as a pejorative term, okay, but clinically retarded for watching TV news especially. They get their information from TV news and TV sources or even like newspapers and so forth. And in my opinion, that is like eating your meals from a toilet. That's I think, a fair assessment based on the quality of information that is given. Normally, many, many lies with a few truths, hid in there just to pretend that, they have some sort of veracity to them. Now, what I'm saying about gold is this. When the revaluation occurs, a couple ways it can go are this. So they revalue at a higher level if the gold is there. Okay? We have this gold audit coming up in Fort Knox. Who knows what we're going to find? It could be like Geraldo Rivera when, was it Al Capone's vaults? He went into Al Capone's vaults in the 80s, I think it was. And it was empty. It was a big bust, But that's, typical Geraldo, right? Anyway, this gold thing, if they revalue it higher, which, almost inevitably they will, because gold has been suppressed, just like silver. Silver is much more suppressed price-wise than is gold. But gold has been significantly suppressed because when you think about it, if we were able to see gold skyrocket as a primary asset that it is, we would have to, at some point, unless you're a TV watcher, you would be able to figure out that, wait a minute, how much of this is gold gaining in value, especially since it's been a stable asset for so long, thousands of years, right? How much of this is gold rising and how much of this is the Federal Reserve note falling? And people will find out pretty quick, if and when it happens, that it's the Federal Reserve note. We've been robbed, ladies and gentlemen. We have been robbed of about 98, 99 maybe % of the buying power of that dollar compared to when it was issued in 1913, when the evil banking syndicate started the Federal Reserve, the privately owned Federal Reserve, in 1913. Then, of course, we came off the gold standard, meaning nobody could trade Federal Reserve notes for dollars anymore. No, I'm sorry, Federal Reserve notes for gold. So, once that happened, I think in 71, we've been done, ladies and gents. We've been toast, man. So the fact of the matter is, getting back to some semblance of a gold standard is going to be monumental for us. Now, when this stuff comes out, I'll make sure I fill you in, inform you to the best of my ability, right? And if you have stuff for me, throw it my way. Throw it on Facebook. Give it to me in Messenger. Bitcoin Otter at secure.com, SEKUR, Bitcoin Otter at secure.com. I have some good website info. Me and my sister have been working on it. She's been doing all the work. I've been throwing up ideas. So hopefully we're going to have that. And I'll announce that when it comes up. And we're going to have like an interactive way of doing that, and perhaps even do the show, or at least have the show being on the website simultaneously. We're going to figure it out. There's all kinds of different website stuff that I don't know enough about to tell you. So gold is coming close. Again, it's hovering right near that 3,000 mark. Now, if gold gets revalued at like 4,000 or 5,000, okay, per ounce, that gives the United States government, I think, somewhere around $1 trillion in that particular asset alone. So having that on our asset ledger book, whatever you want to call it, that would be a good thing for us. Now, if you want to buy a house, it's just not, it's coming down. It's 6.82 average mortgage rate percent for a 30-year rate locked in. 15 is 6.13. So it's just not pretty, ladies and gents. It's pretty ugly out there. I don't know when it's going to come down. I don't know what exactly is going to have to happen. I would suspect that, well, I don't know. Let me just leave it at that. I don't know. So getting to crypto again, this is off of Cointelegraph. Texas Senate passes Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill. Ladies and gents, I think, and according to Bitcoin laws, I guess that's some sort of, I haven't heard of it, but I guess I don't know if it's on X or not, but a total of 32 Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bills have been introduced in 24 U.S. states at the time of writing. So roughly half, Marcos, good to see you. Roughly half of the states have, at least in the works, a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill. And we just saw, I just told you right now, Texas has passed it. So how is this going to affect us here in Texas? How is this going to roll out? Is there anything we can do to assist it? I don't know, but you know that I will report it as soon as I find out. The Texas Senate passed this again from the Cointelegraph article. The Texas Senate passed the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill, SB 21, in a 25-5 vote on March 6th, following a fierce debate on the state Senate floor. 25-5 that's pretty resounding. I mean, it sounds to me that there are many people that know what's up. And the 5 that voted against it, well, let's just say they probably watched TV. I would argue and put forth, this is Texas Senator Charles Schwertner. Charles Schwertner, I'm going to read this quote while he was on the Texas Senate floor. This is what he says. I would argue and put forth that because of central invention and manipulation of the supply of currency, we're going back to it again, ladies and gents. We're going back to this manipulation of currency and other assets. And he's saying it on the Texas Senate floor. Back to his quote. In this case, the U.S. dollar, the ability to spend money through printing money, has caused the dollar to fall in value and fall in worth. Again, that was Texas Senator Charles Schwertner during this passage of the Texas Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. That's very good. That's very good. I'll keep you posted. This also from Cointelegraph. How can Bukele still stack Bitcoin after IMF loan agreement? This is interesting. I was looking at this. I read the whole thing, but I'm not going to read it all out. He's basically sticking his thumb in the eye of the IMF, International Monetary Fund. So the International Monetary Fund is just like, the Federal Reserve, and it's basically a scam, right? It's just the same old banksters doing the same old bankster things. They go into nations and give them loans that they can't pay back, and then they steal their natural resources or the real estate. I saw something popped up here. I think it was you, Alex, but I'm not seeing it now. Where'd it go? Let me see here. I'm sorry. I missed it, Alex. I thought, oh, here it is. Brian, good to see you. We got to get in touch, Brian. We got to talk. So, checking in. Brian says, checking in with you, Chris. U.S. inflation still crazy high. Eggs are the new gold. Expensive. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But here's the irony. I think I touched on this last week. I'm not sure. There was a video of a woman who lives in Mexico, and she is reporting live, right, whatever you want to call it, in the Mexican supermarket. And as she's doing so, she's showing the prices in Mexico. They're way lower than here. Why? Because they're not as dumb as we are. Let me explain. Their farmers are not killing chickens, man. You know, say what you will about Mexico, but they don't fall for the crap that we fall for here in the U.S. They're not killing their chickens, man, over some, fake bird flu pandemic. It's the same old, everybody. But we in America, oh, man, TV tells us what to do. TV is, our idol. Let's kill the chickens. Let's kill the food. Let's get rid of the food. Mexico doesn't play that. They're not going to. It's stupid and they know it. So European Central Bank embraces blockchain. This is Brian again. Very good for crypto. ARK Investment just bought $200 million in crypto. Right now is the time to buy, even though it's crashing. Brian, I agree with you 100%. Now is the time to buy because it's crashing. Okay? What my opinion is, this is an opportunity for the industrial sector to load up. And I mean, I'll just speak for my personal situation. I don't have a lot of dry powder left. I bought when I thought it was going to be a good time to buy, and I still think it was a good time. But as a wage slave, I don't have unlimited supply. BlackRock does, Vanguard does, right? Those crazy scum, they have it. So they're going to jump in while it's low. If you have some dry powder, ladies and gents, and you want to do it, I am not a financial advisor. I have palm fronds on my shirt. How serious can I really be? Not very, but I will tell you that if you decide to get some crypto at this time, I think you won't be disappointed. If you have the patience for it, right? You got to have the patience for it. James, good to see you're on, James. So thank you, Brian, for those comments. Alex says, what's the excuse they'll use when they'll only be able to show us the small gold room instead of the whole room? That's a good one. Exactly. What the hell is going to happen? Do you think normies, regular TV watchers, do you think they're going to understand? Do you think they're going to realize that, hey, man, we might want to spread this far and wide that the emperor has no clothes? It's like pulling the curtain aside during the Wizard of Oz movie, right? That guy had all the levers and stuff like that. That's exactly what this is like. The deep state is controlling this stuff. But the good news is the Patriots are winning. The counterinsurgency is alive, not only alive, but victorious. Now, we're going to see a little bit of, rough road ahead, just like Donald Trump mentioned in the State of the Union address. He said, basically, we're going to do some revaluation of the gold. We're going to do some tariff adjustments, things like that. And it's going to be, I can't remember his exact term. If anybody remembers, pop that up for me, please. But he said something like it's going to be a little bit rough or a little bit difficult for a time. So as we know, this is going to be when, the fake news jumps all over him. Oh, it's Donald Trump's tariffs. It's Donald Trump's tax cuts. It's Donald Trump's this, that, and the other that is causing this recession. Meanwhile, you're going to have people, intelligent people, looking back, and they're going to say, wait a minute, we've been in a recession. Can't you see? But what the commies did is they redefined what it is. They redefined what a recession is. Just like during the pandemic, they redefined what a vaccine was. Remember that? Before the pandemic, you had one Webster's, dictionary or an encyclopedia definition okay, of what a vaccine was and what it did. Along comes the pandemic. It's completely different. Alex says, maybe wear a tuxedo t-shirt next time so we can take you serious. Yeah, I might do that. Not that I think it would be, especially with this, what do you call it, vacation beard I got going on here. Arnold, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. So Arnold says, I need XRP to the moon. Man, I'm telling you all. Arnold, if you're by your phone, obviously you're by something. If you're throwing out comments, but what is it right now? What's XRP? I forgot to look in the beginning of the show. But XRP, ladies and gents, it's even being considered now for the strategic crypto reserve. So, in fact, that's coming up next. Well, again, I was talking about Bukele here. How can Bukele still, this is the title from the Cointelegraph article, how can Bukele still stack Bitcoin after IMF loan agreement? Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele raised eyebrows among industry and observers on March 4 when he said that his government's Bitcoin purchases won't stop. No, the IMF came in, did their thing. They got their economic hitman out there, despite a requirement from the International Monetary Fund, IMF. So it goes on. On March 3rd, the IMF released a report outlining terms of the agreement, noting that it would prohibit the public accumulation of Bitcoin, i.e., the government or government-controlled entities couldn't buy Bitcoin or mine it. See, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is about freedom. I'm not what you would call a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think that Bitcoin is the end-all to beat-all. I worship God above. I worship Jesus Christ, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I don't worship Bitcoin. However, I do believe, based on its fundamentals, I do believe that it is about freedom. Decentralization is about freedom. Let me give you an example, a biblical one even. When the first that we know of wannabe world dictator, his name was Nimrod, started building this tower. And some other time, we'll get into what this tower may or may not have been, technologically or otherwise. So they were building this tower, and all of the descendants of Noah and his family, all of them were still concentrated in one place. And when God told them, get off the ark, take care of the world. The world is yours. Spread out and have children and manage the earth. You're my people, right? So, of course, the first wannabe globalist dictator, Nimrod, he says, wait, well, we're going to build this tower. We're going to do this. He wanted to bring back the Nephilim, is what he wanted to do, the offspring, the giants of the demons or the angels that disobeyed God, came down, had, sex with women, humans, and then had these giants, right? It's all in Genesis 6. So when that happened, that was an example of centralization. God doesn't like centralization. So what did he do? He struck them with different languages. And you're like, wow, that's interesting. 252 for XRP. 260 up 4.9%, 4.19%. Thank you, Arnold. So, or Sue, thank you. And Alex, both of you. So what occurred there was God started nations. Okay, God started them. 70 of them, to be exact. 70 nations, bam, based on changing their language. So God loves decentralization. What is Bitcoin? It's a decentralized currency. Now, can it be a store of value? Sure, we can go into the semantics of it all, store of value, currency, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, if you or I want to trade goods or services, I'll accept Bitcoin. That's optimal to me because I think it's much valuable than the Federal Reserve note, the debt-based asset, instead of the proof of work-based asset, which is Bitcoin. So it's very decentralized and it's about freedom. So the bank hates it. The banksters hate Bitcoin for that very reason. So they come up, they front all over Bukele, and they tell him, no, you can't even mine Bitcoin. Remember, they were mining Bitcoin using the vapor from, extinct volcanoes. They just hooked up some turbines and boom, they were mining Bitcoin, man. Banks didn't like that. No, they hated it. So what Bukele is basically saying to him is, up yours, man. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do with Bitcoin. It's free for them, man. They get it's all their natural resources that, of course, the IMF wants to steal. Bukele, seemingly defiant, said his country would continue accumulating Bitcoin anyway. Okay? Any of you Italians out there, this is what he did. Me. All right? What are you going to do? We'll see. We'll see. As this unfolds, I'll keep you posted. This is from Decrypt. Okay? Trump's crypto summit. What is it? Who's going? And why the crypto council fell apart. So if you remember, we were going to have a crypto council, and I think it would have had something to do. Let's see if I included it here. The White House is set to hold its first ever crypto summit on Friday. That's tomorrow. And most industry bigwigs are jockeying for a seat at the table. Unfortunately, no invitation came for the Bitcoin Otter, unfortunately. The inaugural crypto summit is likely to be run by AI and crypto czar David Sachs, and essentially supplants President Donald Trump's promised crypto council, which the administration quietly ditched in recent weeks as crypto industry infighting threatened to undo political goodwill, sources told Decrypt. So apparently there was some infighting there. Mike, good to see you. Ms. Liza Cantu, Mrs. Cantu, how are you? Rudy, good to see you. Glad you guys are all in the mix. We're talking crypto here. We're talking about this summit that's going to happen tomorrow. If you guys have any comments, throw it up. Sue says Digibyte is up 10%. I like Digibyte. Ladies and gentlemen, I like Digibyte. Why do I like it? Because it's cheap, yeah, but so is a lot of other cryptos. Digibyte has been do your research on this. I won't take too much time on this, but Digibyte is an old OG, okay? They are solid. They have a great use case. And right now, the tokenomics are looking very good. People much smarter than me, okay, are, and let me give you a tip. They don't pay me. They don't, advertise or nothing with me. But it's called, if I can remember it, Let's Hash It Out. It's on, they do it every Thursday, and I can't remember what time they go, but you can check their old shows, right? So Let's Hash It Out. There's usually 3 or 4, and I actually met the guy, one of the guys, and I met him. It bumped into him, and somehow we decided to talk crypto, and boom, it came out. He hit it big in crypto. So, namely Theta. Theta made this guy and others millionaires. So, yeah, that is good. Digibyte up 10% because, and again, I won't beleaguer the point, but the fact of the matter is, I think, and what is my word worth? You take it or leave it. But I think Digibyte is an easy buy, and it's a solid one. We'll see when this altcoin bull decides to run. So, continuing on with the crypto summit, Coinbase and Kraken also confirmed to Decrypt that the American crypto exchange's respective CEOs, Brian Armstrong and Arjun Sethi, will be in attendance Friday. So something happened when I tried to get on Coinbase and they never got back to me. So I said, go blow. I do use Kraken though. I like Kraken. It's an American in exchange. Just like I said, Crypto 101, I've said this many times, don't leave your coins on the exchange. Just look it up if you don't believe me. That's fine. Don't do it. I recommend. A Ripple spokesperson, meanwhile, declined to comment on whether CEO Brad Garlinghouse received an invite. So for whatever reason, Ripple's, playing this coy. Now, Ripple, if for those that don't know, is Louis. Good to see you, Louis. Ripple is the company, the corporation that owns XRP. So why are so many people high on XRP? Well, there's a lot of people hyping it up. I'll give them that. It's going to be, well, put it this way. It's already in, I want to say, or they got the invite, 500 banks internationally, all countries, 500 banks internationally already have their license, if you will, to use XRP. ladies and gentlemen, it's almost a foregone thing. And again, price won't indicate this because I do think there's a certain amount of manipulation out there. But banks are going to not only hold, but exchange and transact in crypto on a blockchain. The big bet is, Gio, good to see you. The big bet is XRP. That's why so many people are on it. That's why they're all over it, high on XRP, if you will, because when XRP, hang on one second, Sue. When XRP gets activated, we are going to see international in scope usage and acceptance of crypto, or at least the blockchain at first and then crypto after, because these transactions, I'm not sure what different kinds of monetary assets can be exchanged on the rail. It's like a railway. Okay, this will answer your question too, Sue. Sue asks, what is XCN and why do I have $20 in it? Do you remember? I do remember. I'll tell you why you have $20 in it. Because it went up exponentially. It already hit 5x, like 500, it 5x'd. Of course, it's volatile. And my target for XCN, along with a lot of things, is 10x. I'm really hoping that and praying that this altcoin bull market hits. Also the traditional Bitcoin market, right? So it's looking good. The squiggly lines on the charts going back the first 3-4 year cycles. And there's a pause there. The first 3 in number of 4 year cycles. So we're on the 4th 4 year cycle right now. And when you look at the charts, the price movement is nearly identical. I mean, it's not exact. And there were some things that happened in each one of those years, those time frames. But yeah, it's looking good. XCN. So for whatever reason, they decided using the letter X to demark a similar type of crypto. So XCN is also a transactional crypto. Okay. Yes, I think XCN is the transactional one. Now, remember, we're also in venture capital. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But I gave that one a shout out a month or two back. That is an AI-based project, okay? So right now, the two, and there's opinions, right, as to which one is the narrative of the day, the hour, whatever you want to call it. But the two big narratives now, and the two driving concepts as to what you may or may not want to buy are AI and transactional currency use cases, right? So you've got your X's, your XRP, your XCN, XLM, okay, XLM, it's another good one, and others. Those are transactional in nature. That, financial transactions will be placed on one end, received on another end, okay? That's their main use case. I mean, it's a lot deeper than that. I'm just, scratching the surface. I'm sure there's many more people out there that can articulate it quickly and succinctly, but I can't do it right now. We could do a show on that, just transactional, and then we could do a show on, or I'll put it up on the website, Sue. That's a good subject to put on the website, is the differentiation between the two main concepts that are driving this market right now, which again are AI projects and financial transaction projects. So these are the two main things. And if you're in any of that, space, I think we're going to do well. I pray we will. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, you're 20. If you put $20 in, Sue, hey Jim, good to see you. If you put $20 in, it's probably worth more by now, right? I would imagine you're up to at some point. Not sure, because we did take a hit, but it'll bounce right back. Remember, you don't lose until you sell. So it's half hour through the show, ladies and gents. We're going off on 97.7 KCYP, the city, out of McAllen, Texas. Local radio station here. We're broadcasting from the McAllen Creative Incubator. Artists are here. Sculptors. I think they even have an Indian tech firm up there if they didn't already leave. But we got a lot of stuff going on here in McAllen. If you ever want to stop down, just let me know. Open invite. All of you that are in the chat, you know me. You know, I'm not, talking to people I don't know. John, how you doing? So if you ever want to come down and check us out, just to check out the incubator, great. They've got music lessons going on here for kids next door. They've got events all the time. You want to come on, say a few words on the show, that's fine. I'd be glad to help you. I'd be glad to accommodate you, put it that way. We're also going out on the 97.7 YouTube channel and Facebook channel. We're going out on the Christopher Ott Facebook channel. We're going out on TuneIn Radio. It's an app. And also Radio Garden. Yeah, Radio Garden. So I think I've hit them all. Joe said he would be listening. He couldn't make it. He's teaching, ladies and gentlemen. He's a professor, a real educated guy, unlike myself. So he teaches at UTPA, used to be known as Pan Am University. I liked it better then. Anyway, they needed a guy with knowledge. So Joe Martinez, the owner of this station and the producer of this show, he is there teaching today. And he's probably listening, and I hope you're proud of me, Joe. I got all that out at the half hour. Now, we also have Renee and Juan behind the scenes. They're rocking it, man. They're rocking it. They give me, they throw me tips. They're rolling the cameras. It's good. Now, I don't have a guest, so we're probably not doing too much jockeying on the cameras. But what's the deal? Jim says, what's the deal with Muddum? I'm not sure, Jim. Fill me in. Sue says it's up to $20. I think I left a small amount from one of my transactions. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're saying, Sue, if I get this correctly, you're saying that you moved it at some point and there was only a small amount left. Now it's grown to $20. There's the power of price movement right there. The deal with Muddum. I don't know, Jim. Throw something up in Mutum. Is it Mutum or Muddum? How to find them. Sue says how to find them. Oh, well, CoinMarketCap. I use CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. Okay. You know what's interesting? Sometimes you'll see a differentiation in not only valuation, but coins that they follow. I mean, you could throw a suggestion in there, and sometimes they take them. But CoinGecko, they're more. I think they cover more coins or just different coins than CoinMarketCap. But they both have apps. You can put it on your phone, and you could you make a watch list, and then with the touch of the finger, you got the immediate results right there, and you can check your portfolio or whatever. Sue says, "Yep," on that $20. So a fraction sounding to me like she had a fraction, transactional remainder that turned into $20 on XCN. I think XCN was a recommendation from Jody. Joe, I don't see him on right now, but how do you know what's transactional or AI? So when you go into CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, you're going to see basically it's a tap. It's tapping on the coin that you want to look at. When you tap on that coin, either one of those will have their interface, and there will be a link to the website that is hosted by the particular project. So, for instance, if you want to look at XCN, so you go to the search bar, you put XCN in CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, or maybe both, just to see if there's any differing info, and they'll give you a short synopsis of what the project's about, and then they'll give you that. They give you a little, tokenomics too. How many tokens total? How many have been released? Is it proof of work or is it proof of stake? That kind of stuff. So all the different info that you can get. Eduardo, good to see you. Greetings from Eagle Pass. Nice to see you. So that's how I look these things up and find them. Mainly. Maybe you can use AI to find relevant coins. Absolutely, Sue. Absolutely. So Jim says it's new. Mutum is new, and it's up for pre-sale. I'm going to look it up, Jim. Thank you. I'm going to look it up. Is it on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap? If so, we can get a good synopsis of that. So, yes, AI, ladies and gents, I have been, I guess, trying to swim my way through AI. I use Grok because I pay because I don't watch TV and I don't read newspapers other than what's thrown in my face, in other venues or whatever. But on X, I have the Grok app, and that is it's very good. It's still woke a little bit. It's still a little bit woke, but it's good. So if you're not in AI, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it makes your job very, very much easier, and it's a time saver. I was looking for a garage door repairman, put it in the AI, and I stipulated what I wanted. I wanted a list starting from reviews, quality, and then the second search term was, order to AI was list them from cheapest, then cheapest to most expensive, and a couple other things. But that saved me who knows how long of surfing the web via web browser or search engine or whatever. AI to me is already revolutionizing things, but the fact of the matter is more and more people are getting into it, like myself. So you create videos, you create images. Sue says, my college is now incorporating AI into certain curriculums. One of them is automated vehicle technology. Wow. Yeah. If you got a problem with a vehicle, you just tell the ChatGPT or Grok or whatever, what's your vehicle, make, model, year. Man, you will get in-depth analysis of issues. Is there a recall? All that stuff. And it comes up quickly, the processing power. Now, remember the Theta network, and I have one of these at the house. It's an edge node, it's called. If you stake a T-fuel, a certain amount of T-fuel, 10,000 is a certain amount. That's a minimum. So if you could stake T-fuel to your node, you can run an old laptop or whatever, and you're actually gaining T-fuel because you're allowing your old laptop or whatever you want to put it on, right? You're allowing that to do AI jobs, decentralized AI jobs, and you get paid in T-fuel. Yes, I'm telling you. You guys want to get with me? Again, get with me on Facebook Messenger if you like. If you want a rundown and detailed sources and things like that, please. Bitcoin Otter at secure.com. Bitcoin Otter at secure.com. And also, again, here in Facebook, I don't charge. I don't charge. This is a ministry to me. I help people get into crypto if they want to. I don't sell it. Okay. I don't pressure anyone. I'm just here as an informational outlet for you. And I go by the one-step principle. What does that mean? I'm not an expert, but if I'm one step ahead of you in crypto, I can teach you what I know. Now, when you want to dig in and you go further into the details of things, maybe I'll have to pass you on to someone else. But I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So let's see. Sue says, make sure you ask for sources when using AI, though, because some are like ChatGPT are out of date. Thank you. Thank you for that tidbit. Sue also, okay, if you didn't know, if I've said it before, but she's helping with the website. She's running the website. So she's seeing that AI is definitely helping in that venue, if you will. So what else do we have? Here at X. Oh, this is a good one, ladies and gents. This is a good one. We got another Kennedyism, okay? We got another Kennedyism from the Democrat Senator Kennedy says, I think Elon Musk is a rock star. The tofu crowd is mad. And what he's talking about is how Elon Musk is just eviscerating the fraud in the federal government. Our tax dollars have been siphoned from us for generations. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. We have been fleeced, ladies and gentlemen. We have been fleeced. And they're going in and they're getting it done. So Senator Kennedy says, I think Elon Musk is a rock star. The tofu crowd is mad, but when you trim fat, pigs squeal. I love that guy. Man, he just makes sense. He makes sense. and he's witty. The Kennedyisms, you probably see it on YouTube or something. The Kennedyisms, if you look it up, he's got good ones. So he says, the tofu crowd is mad, but when you trim fat, pigs squeal. That's just what happens, and pigs are squealing loud because Elon Musk, at the behest of Donald Trump, who was mandated by you and me to be president, okay, is getting the job done. Unlike his predecessors, okay? The only job they were getting done was filling their pockets, right? Look at Congress. I think it's $175,000 they make a year. It sounds good, yeah. That's a good wage. But how do you get $20 million in the bank, AOC? It's not just her. How about that Crockett woman? She's now dancing. She's giving videos, right? Another thing. Yeah, I'm glad I thought of this. How about that video? Ron, good to see you, Ron. We're talking right now about these videos that these Democrat what have yous are coming out and saying the exact same thing. The script is the same thing. It's just regurgitating what they were ordered to say. And somebody observed, even this was on X, somebody observed also that they have this little tiny handheld mic and they're all using the same one. And these videos come from their offices. So they look, like they're actually doing something, which, usually they're on a plane or Epstein Island or something. But these videos are in their office. So they've got the same backdrop, not the same office, right? But the same type of backdrop. They've got the same type of microphone, and they're all saying the same thing. Now, I haven't, abused my ears and listened to what they were saying because I don't need to. If anybody wants to throw that out there, Liza says, special interest groups and lobbyists. Exactly. That's who they are. And that's what's ordering them. So part of it, and when you dig into it, ladies and gents, if you haven't, I highly recommend digging into what it is that Doge is doing. So what they found was, and this lady, this woman, her name, she goes by Data Republican. She's already been doxxed. They already got her real name out there because she's just spilling truth, man. She's throwing fire with truth. This woman is an autist, okay? She is a brainiac. She's able to break down data in ways that is revolutionary. She's deaf. I don't know if she needs someone else to help her speak. I don't know the details, but whatever was taken from her in her hearing has augmented her. This is my theory, right? Has augmented her thinking skills because this woman is brilliant, right? So she's showing, outlining, and highlighting the fact that these NGOs, non-governmental organizations, okay, come up, boom, 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 right? By whoever wants to rob you. And our thieves in Washington steal your money, okay? And then give it to these NGOs who then fund communist, green new scams, all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure trips to Epstein Island and wherever else. Sue says, Dad, happy birthday. I'll call you tomorrow. Happy birthday, Dad. Glad to see you're watching. So let me, segue a little bit. My dad worked for Chevrolet 30 years, man. I mean, the company name changed a couple times, but GM for 30 years, okay? That plant is dead. That plant in the east side of Buffalo is dead, gone. Rats are running through it, or rats won't even run through it. I don't know. It's gone. It's done. Thank God Dad was able to retire, right? He got out before, they closed it all down. Donald Trump is bringing that back, ladies and gentlemen. Not in that area, I'm sure. But he's bringing industry back, manufacturing back. Guys, it's still the second month, right? Have patience. It's coming back. That's what this tariff war is all about. If you find yourself watching TV, you might want to rough yourself up a little bit or, have a friend do it because you're never going to get the truth. You're never going to get the truth from television or a newspaper. It won't be there. When this starts rolling out in the tariff war, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen, I can't remember the exact numbers, but Mexico and Canada can't hang. The GDP percentage of goods they send to us is significant. It's like close to a third of Canada, their GDP is sending stuff to us. Okay? Mexico, I think, is even more. If anybody has those numbers, throw them up. But our ingress of Mexican and Canadian goods and services is minuscule compared to theirs. Right? How are they going to hang in a tariff war? They cannot. They cannot. And the mainstream media will never tell you this. Trump knows what he's doing. He's done deals before. He's written books on deals before, okay? And remember, before the communists hated Donald Trump, they loved him. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I've said that a lot tonight, but just look back at some of the 90s, early 2000 videos, interviews of Donald Trump. They fawned over the man. Yes, he gave money to Democrats. He gave money to Republicans. He's smart enough to know you got to butter both sides of the bread. Okay? He knows that. But he's made so many deals along the way. His companies have succeeded. And now our government is succeeding. Because it's a different outsider type of approach. Okay? It's not the inside the beltway scumbags. Okay? The scum of the swamp. They've been running it way too long. You know, when we hear about our debt, we hear about our national debt, 34 trillion or whatever it is now. We wonder, okay, how is it that they obtain these debts? What is the collateral? You know, we're not in the same room, but I'm looking at it. You're the collateral for all these loans, all this debt. Your work is the collateral for these loans. It's you. Driving you into the ground is what's going to make them gain more money. They're going to lend more money because you are an American. And they rob America first. Why? Because we are the world reserve currency. And that's what most people deal with. So Americans, the hardworking Americans, we're the ones carrying the load. They're robbing us to have their schemes run. Joe's on. Danny, good to see you, Danny. So when I say you're the collateral, it's much more than just debt and banking. Who do you think keeps the pharmaceutical industry in business? It's you. And some viruses, some bacteria. It's you. It's me. Right? They don't cure cancer because they don't want to cure cancer. They'll take your money though. They'll surely take your money. You want to, save the boobies or whatever whatever that crazy thing is with the pink hats. Fine, you give all your money you want, but they're not going to cure cancer. They can't. Their industry would be dead. They can't do that. It's not good business sense. Are they cruel? Are they evil? Of course. Of course. We are literally the guinea pigs for that and many other industries. The whole medical industrial complex depends on you being sick. Okay? I think it was David. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was in an interview, and that's what he was telling. I don't know if it was Megyn Kelly. No, it was another woman. I can't remember her name. But he's in this interview, and he's basically saying, "Hey, this is an industry that requires you to be sick, just like the jails. We went over this before. How they ruined black music, African American music. They ruined it. How and why? Well, they made sure that they didn't promote the good stuff. Why? Because they got to fill prisons. So they get these, sadly, I think it's like 74% of black children are growing up without a dad in the house, right? I mean, part of that is welfare stuff. Part of that is economics. It's just there's a lot that goes into that, right? So without a dad in the home, I mean, it's the percentages of kids that come out wrong are very much higher. So not promoting good music and promoting gangster rap, it fills the prisons because that's all they sing about is killing people, right? So, and money, right? And hoes and all that good stuff. No, that's not good stuff. Okay, you know what I mean. I'm just making a little joke here. Anyway, so that's what they needed to fill the prison complex. Okay, the prisons contract with the municipalities, and on the contract, they stipulate that a certain amount of those beds have to be filled, or the city pays. So the city is motivated to put people in jail. This is part of the scum. This is part of the system. Okay. Sue says 2023 U.S. export to Mexico totaled 322 billion, while imports from Mexico amounted to over 475 billion, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Okay, we'll see. In which, again, the sources is the U.S. Census Bureau. U.S. exports to Canada 322, while imports from Canada 450. Wow, those numbers, I don't know, Sue. Johnny, good to see you. Those numbers sound spookily close, right? U.S. exports to Mexico and exports to Canada, both 322 million or billion. I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyway, the love of money is the root of all evil, says Liza. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, money is not the root of all evil, but just like Liza said, it's the love of money that is the root of all evil. Yes, money is a necessary commodity, right? I won't call it an evil. It's a commodity. But when you love it, when you covet it, when you put money in front of God's kingdom and in front of what God wants to do for you in this lifetime, this short lifetime, when you do that, you're on shaky ground. You're on thin ice. Because when we love money, we are idolizing it and nothing good comes of it. Do we need it? Are we expected to, earn more of it or invest it? Sure, of course. But remember, the people that Jesus argued with when he was here on earth, okay? The people who were in the temple exchanging money, right? So they had a sacrifice. The Old Testament had a sacrificial system, right? So in order to have remission of sins, you would have to get, a lamb without spot, for an example, and you would have to bring it to the temple, and the priests would sacrifice it, and they would keep the meat, and that would keep them, in food. And the sacrificial process would, if not forgive sins, it would leave you blameless before the Lord. So Jesus went in there, and they were setting up shop in the temple. And he was pissed. This is my Father's house. He overturned the money tables, the banksters. And I want to tell you right now, and if you want to know more about it, Big Pharma loves money, says Liza. Yes. If you want to know more about it, hit me up on bitcoinotter@secure.com or Messenger here on Facebook. But the spirit of those banksters, the people manning those tables that Jesus overthrew, that spirit is in the people that are enslaving us in debt today. Yes, the same spirit. Those banksters are evil to the core, because what they do is they steal our very lives. What is money but congealed time? What is time? Lifetime, right? When they steal our money to the tune of billions, trillions of dollars, like Doge is uncovering here, right? When they do that, they're stealing our lives. They're stealing more than just money. There's a very sound principle behind what's going on now. If you want to know more about it, again, hit me up. I'll send you sources. Ladies and gentlemen, unless there's anything else, what do we got here? Liza says, 2 Tylenol pills at an urgent care cost $56. Unfortunately, it sounds like you learned that through experience. Man, $56. That's outrageous. I saw this on X. A woman went to a hospital for a procedure, and it was going to cost something like $4,000. And they didn't know she said she didn't have insurance or something like that. But if she had insurance, she would have to pay the $4,000 bill. If she didn't have insurance at all, she would get it for $700. But then they found out, they did some research or whatever, they found out she did have insurance. They wouldn't let her get the cash amount. They wouldn't let her pay $700 out of her pocket. They made sure they went through her insurance. What a scam. What a scam. Bobby, good to see you, Bobby. We're talking about the medical industrial complex. And Liza Cantu says 2 Tylenol pills at an urgent care cost her $56. So, and yeah, Renee's behind the camera here. He's saying, yeah, he's learned the hard way too. So these are things, again, okay, let me showcase the things that are going on. RFK Jr. is heading up the MAHA, right? The Make America Healthy Again. Great speech by Trump. Keep on pumping out the good news. Yes. Remember, here's a good one. In case you guys haven't heard this one. Do you know the real reason why Donald Trump changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? Brilliant. Because whoever owns Joe Biden had the thing put into an executive order that we wouldn't be able to drill in the Gulf of Mexico. America would not be able to tap into resources right off our own shores because the commie's going to commie. That's why. So what does Donald Trump do? All right. Hey, Mike. Donald Trump says, all right, we won't drill in the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to drill in the Gulf of America. Screw you, commies. Screw you, commies. The Gulf of America. Right? That's why he changed it from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Had nothing to do with being against Mexico. It had everything to do with being against communists. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah, Ron, I did see a little bit of it. And Trump is rolling, man. And they've got so many haters. There were so many haters there, and they're just so bitter and scared. They are so scared because when this finally comes out in a flood, this is just a trickle. This is just scratching the surface. This is a little tip of the iceberg, and the huge, huge, massive amount beneath the surface is going to be exposed. Yes, some things, not all things, can be exposed. Sue says she got 5 stitches without insurance at the emergency room. They charged over $7,000. I told them I didn't have insurance, and they lowered it to $2,000, doctor and facility fees. Ladies and gents, it should not be this way. It should not be this way, but it is. We're going to end the show, ladies and gents. We're going to end the show, but I want to thank everybody that's watching now, watching live, throwing up your comments. Awesome to see you. Awesome to hear you. And those that are watching, we get many views after the fact, and you're driving around or whatever, listening to the show. Thank you for that. Thank you for the support. I want to pray for each and every one of you. May God bless you. May God bless your families. And by extension, may God bless America. Lord, bless us, please. May we that call ourselves by your name kneel and confess our sins in humility, that we might receive your blessing righteously. Thank you, Father. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Lord willing, we will meet again next week. Same hour, same place. Coming back at you with news. The Bitcoin Otter is out.
This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you.